G'day, ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder with Mags. Fuck, they found me! Fuck! G'day, ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. It is definitely your boy Spitflyer talking here, not Mags at all. Even though we're from the same half of Australia. Yes, no. Please don't tell anyone, but it's really Mags. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gents, welcome back to War Thunder indeed. And yes, that is a VB10 on the screen. A VB. VB. VB is the name of a beer that is made in Victoria, in southern Australia, near Melbourne, and it tastes like garbage. If you drink VB, then you're an uncultured swine. Just like a VB drinker, if you fly the VB10, you are also an uncultured swine, because this plane is garbage. I genuinely struggled playing this plane. And it only sits at battle rating 4.3. So, let that sink in for a little bit. And you know what? I decided during Operation Shipyard that I'm going to be spading some stuff. You know, I took the advice of the European Canadian who suggested that you should focus on another task. For him, it was getting some of the latest decals by like capturing zones and, getting kills in tanks and all this stuff. You know, they're cool decals, but they're not my thing. I thought to myself, you know what? I should be playing something that I don't really play a lot, but I kind of want to accomplish it anyway. And then I also thought that I need to grind out something, so I need that RP to actually go to use rather than to sort of go into the ether. So that ruled out the British tree, that ruled out the American tree, the Soviet tree, the Italian tree, no. But at the same time, Italian tier 2 for me is almost spaded anyway. I thought, you know what? I have to get the F86K in the French tree, so I'll start spading that. And I actually did have a lot of fun. I spent 2 or 3 days having probably the best fun I've had in video games, period, since about 2015. I genuinely enjoyed jumping back into low tier, flying some bombers, trying to shoot down some fighters, and just generally having some fun. It was great, and I really, really loved every single minute of it. Doesn't matter whether I got shot down or whether I didn't, and I just enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it, and I discovered a couple of planes that I really like, which is fantastic. All too often, I think that we, as a War Thunder community, get a little bit hung up on the flashy vehicles, the iconic ones, P-51s, Spitfires, you know, F4 Phantom and MiG-21. Everyone looks to those high-tier vehicles. No one cares about anything that sits at low tier. And honestly, if you're not, you're missing out, because some of them are really fun. Some of them are challenging, like the VB10, of course. Fun fact, on the first VB10, this is the second VB10. On the first VB10, I actually got a talisman on it, and I managed to spade it in about 5 games. And as such, I have not touched it. But I got to spading the VB10. This is the VB10, like 20 or something like that. It's got a number after it, and I can't even remember because I don't pay attention to it. This plane was a post-war super prop, and so it has pre-war cannons. I'm not kidding. It has pre-war cannons, and I believe it has the Focke-Wulf 190 Dora engine. Either a carbon copy or some sort of manufactured version, like a license built, if that really exists. But on the whole, this plane is actually pretty garbage. It's not that great. It doesn't turn at all because it's got 2 giant engines in it and it's huge. It's also not that fast. And you face things like the RE-2005, which you can see in that little dot above me. I can see a Dornier 217 off to the left there. I'm not going to go for it because I need the altitude and I need every bit of speed and ammunition that I can get. You can see there's an RE-2005 above me, and there is also a 335. So, yeah, I see 335s in this stuff. But honestly, the really painful thing is that 2005. Man, that plane is strong. One of my mates, I'll see if I can put the video out soon, but we were flying. I was grinding out the 2005, and he was flying it, and he was doing extremely well. But you can see there's one RE 2005, and he's starting to chase after me. I hammer the WEP, and I just put it into a dive. I don't want to deal with that yet, and I've picked up a fair amount of speed, which, it's pretty decent at doing that. It's not that bad. I'm not going to overstretch how bad this plane is. It certainly is frustrating, and especially stock, this plane is pretty bad. Even going head on, because the guns are wing mounted, you have to be wary of that stuff, although it does have very good firepower. It has fantastic firepower. It's got 650 cals and 420 mils. So if you were to pair the armament from the P51, like the cannon stang, and the P51D, you would literally get the armament on the VB10, except with a mark slower, or mark less. The Hispano 404 was what the Hispano, and I believe as a result the A&M 2s were based off. Don't quote me though. Quick head on, G55S gets a nice crit, he'll go down soon. BF109F sort of looking at me but pulls at the last minute. He also gets absolutely smashed by the cannons, but my water is leaking on the second engine, which is the front engine. And that's not really good. But it doesn't really matter because I have a teammate there that's in a little bit of trouble. So I'm going to go down on this 190. I don't really catch him, and the rudder starts to lock up at high speeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it straight, keep my speed up, and you can see that a couple of them are looking at getting into a furball. So what I'm going to do there is put it up into a vertical, put that energy, that speed, back into altitude. The G55S finally goes down, and I've got myself a furball. And I'm above the furball, and I'm also faster than the furball. TAR 154 comes in, but I think I'm going to go for that 190. I spray a little bit, and I managed to get a critical hit. I don't go for that BF109 up above me. Instead, I turn to my right, put it into a dive, and I keep going in that dive. I'm not going to go vertical because I'm going to make myself too slow. So I'm going to go put myself into a horizontal, keep my speed up, and get some separation. Separation is one of the most important things you can get in props, because if you have 2 or 3 kilometers to build up speed, then that's a real godsend, because otherwise you won't build that speed up and you may end up either below your combat speed, or you'll be in a situation where you can't run away or you can't even go for altitude. In this case, I really want to go for altitude, and the P47 comes and saves my ass. So big thank you to the P47. I believe this guy manages 5 assists, so he must have hit some of the stuff that I hit. And I believe he makes a comment in chat later that you'll all find very amusing. But 190 in front of me, this guy is going to run away for a little bit, and you can see he's got such a speed advantage that if I were to be pursued by him, I wouldn't last very long. But it's okay because he puts himself into a dive, and the TAR 154 is in a disadvantageous position. It's slow and low. It's been doing the wrong thing, and that's not very good. I go for a quick head-on with an F4, no dice, but I put it straight back into a vertical because I can see that 190 is way too far away for me to really make it's not a threat. It's really not a threat. What is a threat though is that 109 F4, so I quickly spray as much ammunition, I run out of cannon, and I just keep going, and someone steals my beans. That's fine though, because there's plenty more where that came from. As it's happening now, one of my engines are dying, and I'm out of cannon ammo, so I'm not in a great spot, but that Spitfire ends up eating most of the 190, and he doesn't go for me, which means that I'm spared. And that's a good thing for me, and the Spitfire was able to evade, so that's a good thing for the Spitfire. The 190 there engages the P47, who I believe is going to get the 5 assists, and you can see that second engine is it's really the only thing that's keeping me in the air. Not only that, but the second engine, I believe, is attached to the first engine. So not only is it pulling along the props, it's also pulling along the dead first engine. And you'll see that start to weigh down on me as we get away into a little bit further on into the match. This plane does feel slightly, like, for its size and for its weight, it feels really nimble. It's almost the size of, maybe not quite the 335, but it is huge. I'm told that a lot of people who stand next to the VB10, and you can see the pilot model on the inside, it's huge. It's a big boy. And having to lug around an engine, and then I'm pretty sure that they've modeled that resistance in the engine weighing down on the shaft, because it's even on WEP, I'm not gaining that much speed, and my engine's overheating quite a lot. The VB10, for the most part, it's okay. It's not great. It's really not great. Stock, it's miserable, but spaded, I just got the engine injection, and I think this is the second or third match I had the engine injection, so it's doable. It's workable. You can make some work with it, but if you lose one engine, and this thing, I want to say it takes damage like a champ, but it really doesn't. You compare it to the P47, you compare it to the 335, hell, compare it to the ME410, and you will take more damage than all of them. On top of that, I really just see this plane as a kind of worse ME410, and I will make a video on that. I did get a really good game playing with some viewers. By the way, if you want to play with me, I will be on Discord. So, join the Discord, and hopefully sometime this week I'll be able to play with viewers. I managed to play like a few good games with a couple of viewers, especially a couple of old friends as well. It was good fun, and he showed me a couple of little hidden gems that I'd like to show you guys. Anyway, the 335 has now died, so it's pretty much just 2 guys left, and everyone's going back to base, leaving me with what will eventually be a P38, I believe, and myself with a dead engine, and a very, very sore Frenchy boy. So, not only that, but I have no cannon ammo, and this plane is really, really fat with one engine running. And I'm guessing it's because of the engine resistance being modeled for once. Wow, Gaijin doing something right. You never know. If anyone actually knows and can give me a definitive answer, do let me know in the comments, because I would really, really be thrilled to know. Maybe it's just low horsepower going through, 2 propeller engines and a bunch of gears that, make it lose energy. But for now, all we need to know is that one engine is not good for the VB10. It's very not good for the VB10. And so I'm struggling. It's going to be hard. But I can see a couple of dots by their airfield. And those couple of dots make me think, well, maybe there's someone like AFK sitting on the runway doing nothing. Maybe I can sneak in and get a couple of cheeky runway kills while these guys sort of, camp there. But I get within the range of the airfield and think, you know what, I don't want to lose that extra engine, and I don't want to risk the damage, because if these guys decide to, come out and play, then I want to be there to support my team. And that's when I realize all I have left is the P38, and he's going straight in. You can see on that minimap, and he eventually will go just straight in. The BF-109 F4 on the enemy team is taking off, and there he goes, Sir Shark. I'm pretty sure that's what heist fish means. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. But you can see there the P-38 is about to eat the dirt, trying to go for that captured P-47. And that's not good for me, because as I turn around, all of my friendlies are off repairing. So it's not looking good for me, is it? It's looking really bad, actually. I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to chuck the weapon. I'm going to fly straight at this 109. Hopefully I can get a kill. I'm just out of AA range at this point. And if I fly low enough, you never know, I could be able to get lucky. And I had my fingers crossed here. I throw as much ammo downrange as I can. It looks like I've only got 4 of the 50 cals working, but I'm guessing all 6 are. I get a nice pilot snipe, and that's kill number 4. Can I get my ace? Is the AA going to snipe me down? What's going to happen? Find out next. But there we go. Flying low, turns out sometimes it actually does work. Either that or the AA is a bit of a papega. But there's the last enemy on the team, and that's the P-47. Sitting on the runway, he's been sitting on the runway for about 5 minutes, and so, you know what? I thought, fuck it. This guy, he's probably going to sit there all game, so I might as well strafe him. And I get a critical, and just to make sure I put him in the dirt, I take out every last bit of his plane. I'm not going to go for the pilot because I'm not an asshole. He can keep his KD if he survives the fire. I also don't want to spend as much time on target because I want to get away from the AA. And that's an ace in probably one of the worst planes in the game, which really isn't too bad. It's not that bad, but at the same time, it's really not that good either. Regardless, if you play a tech tree, play every plane. because you never know. You might come across a great plane. Like, maybe not the VB10, but I have some more coming up very, very shortly. Stay tuned. As for the operation, I've managed to complete one MBK. I bought another MBK to get the Whirlwind P9. And I'm almost at my F86K. I've done like 200 KRP in 3 or 4 days playing low tier stuff, which really isn't that bad. But, you might just find some hidden gems. So do play every single plane that you unlock. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.